Conservative New Media viewers, JLin fans around the world, what's up? It's me, PFV, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to discuss the Brooklyn Nets' 105-95 defeat today to the Philadelphia 76ers in Brooklyn, New York. Sixers improved to 10-25 on the year. Brooklyn falls to 8-28 on the season. What happened in this game was that Brooklyn looked good for the first half. They were up by 11 points at the intermission, but they were outscored by 21 points in the second half. That took the 11-point lead and made it into a 10-point deficit, which was the final margin. From a statistical perspective, the reason why the Nets lost this game was they had too many turnovers and they committed too many fouls against the Sixers. The Sixers had 10 more free throw attempts and the Sixers had 9 fewer turnovers. So that pretty much sealed the fate of the Nets in this game. Brook Lopez led the Nets with 26 points. Justin Hamilton came off the bench for a really nice game, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Sean Kilpatrick, 10 points, 3 rebounds. Bojan Bogdanovic, 12 points, 8 rebounds. No update on Jeremy's status in this game. He was sitting on the bench, as you would imagine, watching his teammates and kind of cheering them on. Trevor Booker hurt his hip in this game, so we're going to have to see what his status is for the next game. He left the game with a hip contusion, but he did return and finished out the game, so we'll just have to see how he's feeling between now and the next game coming up. They said during the game that Justin Hamilton had the wrong contact lens prescription, and apparently that was the reason why he was suffering from migraines for the period of time that he was dealing with that, which was for, I don't know, a week or two. So apparently getting the correct prescription and getting the right contacts, maybe that's kind of cleared up whatever that migraine issue was. And as I said, he played very well today. Perhaps that was what was affecting his shooting, because his shooting was way off for that stretch of games. And I mean, obviously if your vision's impaired, that's going to affect your shooting. So hopefully if he can play anything like he played in the game today, that will really assist Brooklyn going forward. Now, as we mentioned before, the Nets continue to struggle regarding their point guard play. Isaiah Whitehead, 5 points, 3 assists today, but he also had 6 turnovers. He returned to the starting lineup. We know that Spencer Dinwiddie had started the previous game, but Spencer came off the bench again in this game instead. 9 points, 3 assists, 1 turnover, but they're still, again, there's a gap between what they're getting from the point guard position right now and what they could be getting ideally if Jeremy was playing and if they had a more experienced and better backup. So that's limiting what the Nets are capable of doing. Look, this is a tough loss. I mean, this is certainly a game that Brooklyn could have won. They probably should have won it. They were favored in this game for one of the rare times during this season. But this is, as we talked about last video, this is what it is. I mean, this is where Brooklyn's at right now. So there's going to be some frustrating days. There's going to be some unmet expectations. What you're also seeing now in these games is you're seeing the young guys playing more and the older guys playing even less. Luis Scola didn't play. Randy Foye didn't play. Whereas you're going to see people like Karis LeVert, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Sean Kilpatrick, they're going to get more time. So we've kind of moved into full evaluate the young guys mode. It's like the teams, it's not that they're not trying to win, but they understand they're not going to make the playoffs, so it's all about getting the younger players experience and being able to take a look at them. As I mentioned in the last video, now you have to, not only do you have to see how good are the players, you have to get a sense of whether they might be better as a starter or as a bench player. You want them to learn and progress as much as they can during this season so that they're ready for next season. You have to think about what rotations you want to use, and you have to think about who you're going to keep and who you're not going to keep. Something else I should mention as well is that it was reported yesterday, I believe, that the Nets are, if the Nets are going to trade Brook Lopez, they are seeking 2 first-round picks in exchange for Brook. So that's kind of the asking price right now. So the speculation continues that Brook may indeed be traded, and I think there's definitely a good chance that he does get traded, or that the Nets are willing to trade him. Let me put it that way. I don't know if they're actively trying to trade him, but they seem willing to do that. And as we've talked about previously, I don't think it's a thing that it's not that they don't like Brook or anything like that. It's more that Brook just might not be the best fit for this system. Even though he's shooting 3-pointers extremely well this year, and you have to give him credit for that, but he's bigger. He's not super mobile. I think they'd like somebody that's maybe just could kind of work a little bit better with the system that Coach Atkinson wants to run. And we're just going to have to see how that plays out. Is he going to stick around? Is he not going to stick around? I don't know. It just depends on who is looking for a big man like him, and what are they willing to give up to try to get him. Maybe Brook ends up on a contender, and that works out for all parties involved. Remember, the Nets, because of the way that they were managed before this year, they have a scarcity of draft picks in the upcoming years. So if they can get their hands on some picks, that would be really good for them, particularly if you're a young team and you need as much talent as you can get. That's pretty much it for this game. It was look, it's like I said, it's a frustrating thing. I mean, we talked about this in the Pacers video, last video, not the Pacers video, but the Utah video. I'm sorry, my mind's slipping right now. I'm not used to the early games. This is where we're at, and it will get better. This is the most difficult time. It's the most difficult time for JLin fans because the team is not good and Jeremy's not playing. So we just have to kind of ride the wave right now and see where we're at. As far as Philadelphia is concerned, Joel Embiid looks terrific. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, if he can be healthy and stay healthy, he's really going to have an excellent future in the NBA. I mean, he looks terrific. The other player I thought looked really good for the Sixers today was Dario Saric, the European player. 18 points, 5 rebounds. He's also a rookie, and he's improving quickly. I've seen him play several times this year, just with the Nets and also in different teams, and heard a lot about him. He's gotten a lot of acclaim, and you're starting to see that, yeah, there's some real talent there, and got to keep your eye on him moving forward. That is about it for this game, so let's talk about the next game coming up, and that game will take place 2 days from now, Tuesday, January 10th, here in the United States. It will take place at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be in Brooklyn, New York, against the Atlanta Hawks. So the Brooklyn's homestand continues. Atlanta has just, in the last week or so, kind of made the decision that they're going to break their team up and they're going to start looking for the future. They just traded shooting guard Kyle Korver to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Mike Dunleavy and Mo Williams. Korver was a key piece of the Hawks' success in the last several years, and Dunleavy has been struggling this year. Mo Williams isn't even playing this year, so that's just a salary dump and kind of a getting contracts that you're going to be able to quickly get rid of in Mo Williams and Mike Dunleavy. So the Nets might be catching the Hawks at the right time. Atlanta will still be favored in the game. They still have more talent than the Nets do, but given that they're now switching into let's wait for next year mode, maybe the Nets will be able to kind of get them and be able to make the game more competitive and look for a win. As I mentioned earlier, there's still no word on Jeremy. I do think in the relatively near future, there's a good chance he'll be coming back. And as we said in the previous video, we just have to wait to hear when he's able to return to practice. That will be the signal that return to game action probably won't be too far off from that. That game will be covered. You can watch it on Yes Network if you are in the New York area, and if not, I would imagine it will be also on NBA League Pass if you live outside of the cities of Atlanta and New York. Hope you're having a great night or great day wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care. We will talk to you again soon in just 48 hours, or actually maybe a little bit more than that, because this game took place as a matinee game. It started at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is very rare and only takes place on Sundays, really. But good way to start the day. Unfortunately, Brooklyn did not get the victory, but it's just another learning process outing for Coach Atkinson and for the younger players. Still really impressed with Karis LeVert. I mean, there's plenty of ability there. One of the things Karis has to do is he has to get stronger. He's going to have to get bigger, kind of hit the weights. The NBA is a very physical league, and you need as much strength as you can get, and that's certainly something that Karis is going to want to work on going forward. But there's a tremendous amount of talent in him, and we're certainly looking forward to seeing him play more. Okay, Atlanta Hawks versus Brooklyn Nets, Tuesday, January 10th. We'll be here. Talk to you again then.